Hi guys, welcome back to Dark Souls 3 Soul Level 1 run. Now, in episode 2, we're going to be making our way through the Undead Settlement here. For the most part, this is a pretty large area. I would say this is probably about the same kind of, like, interconnectedness as Yharnam, but slightly smaller. When I say slightly, I mean probably quite a lot smaller actually, but it is pretty interwoven, I guess. There's a lot of items here that you can probably miss. Like, a lot of people miss the OneBro medal, for example. Although we're not going to be getting it in this run, because there's literally no point. Right, so these charcoal pine bundles, they work similarly to the resin that you can apply to the weapon, except it's a much more potent buff, but it does last for a very short amount of time. But on the upside, it does apply basically instantly, so it's pretty nice to like get the jump on somebody in PvP, for example. Like, if they're not expecting you to do a fucking ton of, like, poison damage, bleed damage. I don't know if you can actually get those bundles, even. I'd have to check into that. But, like, I say the charcoal pine, for example. Like, if they're not expecting fire damage, you can just whack on the charcoal bundle. Hit them twice, it'll run out, and then you could put a gold pine resin on, and then do the lightning damage. I mean, I don't actually see why the practicality of that would be, but it's cool to do nonetheless. Like, it is a nice mechanic. But it's also useful for bosses as well. Because, like, for example, the boss that we're going to be fighting next, the Greatwood, he has these weak points that you're not really going to get a consistent amount of damage in between popping each one. So a bundle is perfect for just applying, popping a tumor, moving on to the next one. Popping another bundle, pop a tumor, move on. So they're quite useful for that as well. But yeah, in the other way, this is where we got our first NPC invasion, which is pretty cool. We will join our first covenant as well, although I say that, we have already joined the Way of the Blue, but it's not really the same thing. But yeah, you get to join the Mound Makers here. You also get the OneBro medal, like I say, but that's a bit more obscure. No, it's not more obscure, but they're both pretty fucking obscure. Like this, you've got to go and fucking find some random guy with a cage and jump in his back. It's like, what? Who thought that was a good idea? Like, nobody would ever think of that, honestly. But we're going to do that anyway, just because I've not done that before. There's a different way of joining that covenant, which involves using an NPC after you get to the Road of Sacrifice after the Greatwood. So, there is that as well if you do miss this. Imminent embarrassment incoming. Look at this. Who thought putting explosive barrels next to a cliff was a good idea? They clearly didn't. Okay, so we're going to grab our souls back. There is a bonfire underneath here, which is why we're trying to roll down. And that will also let us climb up top. And up there, where those three guys are throwing firebombs down, that's where you find the pyromancer. Now, if we talk to him, we will send him back to Firelink, and that'll let us get us the pyromancy flame, which later on will let us buff our weapon with, like, Carthus Flame Arc, for example. Now, you can also go the sorcery route instead, but I think pyromancy is probably the better route for me. I just love how cool the fucking pyromancy glove is to put on, like, it's so cool. Okay, so here also, we're going to grab some more souls, and down here is a ring that will both increase the damage we take from fire, and also the damage we deal with fire. If you took the fire gem at the start, and you infuse a weapon with that, the fire clutch ring is a very good weapon, not a weapon, a very good ring to use in conjunction with that weapon. It will cause you to do a lot more damage. It's just that I feel that fire gem probably doesn't scale as well later on, in comparison to a raw gem, because when the armored enemies start popping up, you're going to be doing a lot less damage to them. I mean, for these unarmored guys, like these thralls, it's absolutely fine, but at the same time, why not just use a raw weapon and just smack them out for a lot more damage, you know? Anyway, so to join the Mountain Makers, you want to climb up here, and then jump down here. Now, if you run around all the way, you'll see one of the big guys with the machetes and the cage. You want to climb into that cage, like run up behind him, press A. He'll be non-hostile as far as I know. So you can just hop in, and then you'll get here. Talk to this guy, and he will invite you into the Covenant. He'll also give you a homeward bone, which I make the mistake of teleporting to the shrine because I am a complete and utter tool. But at the end of the day, it's not much of a problem because we can toss Andreas the Shard, we can talk to the pyromancer, grab our flame, you know. So, it's not a complete waste, but compared to the trial run I did, that I did record, but it ended up fucking corrupting, because of course it did. Why would it not? But yeah, in that test run that I did this zone pretty quickly. But since then I basically forgot where the fuck I'm going, and this happens, basically. But I mean, it's not a complete disaster. We still get through in a reasonable amount of time, I'd say. So the next thing you want to do is you want to stop this guy from throwing arrows at you, because it gets really annoying. Like, it's all well and good that he fights the enemies as well, but if you could make him just fight the enemies, that's much better. So yeah, you want to hop over here, open the door. You shouldn't really have to worry about the enemies too much. You might, at worst, get one of these guys and a dog follow you in, but for the most part, they should just turn around and leave you alone. You'll also meet a familiar face here, if you've played Dark Souls 1. Our favourite onion bro, fucking Sigurd. His counterpart in Dark Souls 1 obviously was Sigmar. And his daughter, Sieglind, I think? I could be wrong, but anyway, you want to hop on the lift and send it back down. This will cause the top part of the elevator to come down, let you ride that to the top. See, it's pretty clever. They could have just give you one lift that goes up and down, but you know, they gave you one that goes up and one that goes down and stuck them together for whatever reason. So anyway, you want to ride it all the way to the top, climb up the stairs here, and talk to your friendly giant bro. He'll give you a young white branch, but it's completely pointless, don't worry about that. The main part to think about here is you'll be able to use, well, not use it, but just having that will stop the giant from throwing arrows at you like a rude guy. So anyway, you want to jump onto this bridge platform, whatever you want to call it, either on the way down or if you miss it like I did, back on the way up, and Sigurd will appear on this balcony. So you want to talk to him a little bit, and then if you hop down here, there's a big ass fire demon in the square. You aggro him, and Sigurd will complain that you should have waited, and then he'll come and rush to your aid. So that's pretty cool. It'll help you fight this demon, which otherwise is kind of a strong enemy, and you probably shouldn't normally be here right now, I don't think. Like, if you were on your own and didn't fight it with Sigurd. But anyway, he dies pretty quickly. And you talk to Sigurd, you'll get some more items. He'll give you some potion type item, which will heal you and reduce your frostbite. You'll get a fire gem off the demon. He'll give you some emotes as well, which we clearly don't care about. But that will progress his quest line for later, although I don't know how far we'll get through with that. I'm not too bothered about doing the quests. They don't really give you anything tangible, so... Just like I probably won't join the Covenants, aside from Mound Makers, obviously, because that's just kind of out the way and I've not joined it that way before. But anyway, once you're done here, chopping down those bodies, get some more armor and a pale tongue. Run over to this house here and you'll find some more items inside. Once you've cleared that half, you can move over to this half and watch out for the dogs. There are 2 of them, and they will fuck you up if you run in there recklessly. Anyway, you want to hop in here. That'll cause a bunch of dudes to fall down, but that's completely irrelevant. I managed to pause my video there, but it doesn't matter too much. Run by these 2 witches. They're not too much of an issue as long as you just keep running and rolling. Head up top here, you'll pick up Flynn's ring, which, according to Reddit, is actually terrible. I'm not entirely sure if that's true or not, but I'm not going to put it on anyway because I don't think it will replace any of the rings I've got. And then I'll fall to my death like a complete goon. Anyway, we'll make our way back there because there are some really useful items in that tower that we want to pick up. Oh wait, no. We're gonna go down and we're gonna fight a outrider. Now these guys are like mini Vorts. They're absolute dickheads, and there's 3 of them in the game. And you'll see why they're dickheads well enough soon. I say well enough soon. What the hell does that even mean? But yeah, basically we KO each other, which isn't great. But yeah, in the next episode, we will actually go and get those items from the tower, and we will kill the tree. So, I'll see you in that episode, guys. Take care.